What I've got in front of me, guys, is a recumbent bike. The idea behind this is you're in a nice seated position to support the lower back a little bit more. But in the seated position, as you pedal with the legs going out in front, it puts a little more intensity into the hamstring and the glute muscles. And it is also a lot safer for your lower lumbar spine when you're sitting on here. One adjustment you need to make is by pushing the lever down, you can slide the seat backwards or forwards. And when you're sat on the bike, as I'll demonstrate, put your feet into the pedal toe straps. And as you pedal, you want to have a soft knee. If you can see there, I've got a slight bend on my knee. I don't fully lock out on my knee as I pedal. It's nice and easy, a nice comfortable position. You've got hand grips at the top here, or you can bring your hands down to the bottom where you have the inbuilt heart rate monitors, a full console with all your resistance controls on there and so on. And it's a nice comfortable seated bike to get the heart rate up, but a little bit of stress on the joints, a low impact machine. Before exercising, it's always recommended, once you've done your warm up, to do some mobilization stretches to get ready for your exercise. So such things as, you can kneel yourself down onto a mat if you've got one handy, going forward into a hip flexor stretch to work the big muscles here, also working the lumbar spine, getting the glutes working. You can also press forward into the upper body or go above the head. So that will work many muscles in one single movement. Or additionally to that, you can go for an upper body stretch, pressing forward. You can see that from both sides. You might want to bring your hands back to open the chest out. You might want to do some mobilization, some easy movements of the upper body to make sure you're really ready for your exercise before you go into the strength work. Okay, so this is the treadmill. The treadmills are cardiovascular in nature. So what we mean by that is you're working the heart and lungs. So these can be used for warming up, cooling down, or more advanced cardiovascular exercise. You may be getting ready for a couch to 5K program, or it might be a weight loss program, or just merely getting ready for your exercise using the strength equipment. So before using the treadmill, it is a motor-driven belt. So for that reason, there's a safety lanyard, which I would insist you put onto a piece of clothing, such as a waistband, legging, tracksuit top, whatever it is you've got on. Once the machine is moving, should you lose your balance, hopefully not, but should you lose your balance and fall off, it will pull the power cord and stop the belt from moving, saving any chances of you falling on the belt and injuring yourself any further. Okay, so that's the first thing. Attach the safety lanyard. Very, very easy to get to use this, to get this thing started. So in front of us, basic control panel, you've got start, get the machine moving, emergency stop key, speed up, slow down, and your incline facilities. All the information will be displayed on here, so your time, your distance, your calories, speed you're traveling at will be clearly displayed for you. You also have on here some preset programs, climbing programs, fat burning programs, cardiovascular programs, which is a really nice additional feature to have on this machine. This is a stationary spin bike. It's a great piece of exercise for bringing up the heart rate. It's cardiovascular in nature, so it's going to get your heart and lungs working. Really good for getting the heart rate going, as I say, and burning calories at the same time. Also, it's low impact, so it's a lot safer on your knees, your hip and your lower back as you're exercising. It's really, really good. So just to run you through this, we've got various adjustments, which we'll run through in a second. You've got an onboard computer, so you can measure time, distance, calorie expenditure, stuff like that. And you also have the resistance control here. By bringing that up, makes it a little bit easier. And as you go through, you can increase the resistance to work the heart rate up a little bit, get the muscles working a little bit harder. So to run you through the adjustments, first and foremost, you have a seat adjustment. It comes up or down. To get this to the right position for you, to make sure it's safe on your joints, if you stand alongside the bike, find your hip flexor muscle here, or not, sorry, the hip flexor, the hip joint, should I say here. You can raise or lower this, so it's about an inch old school, about 2.5 centimeters below your hip. To adjust it, it's just a little lever here, pull a little lever up, and the seat will slide up or down to where you want it. Okay, you can bring it into position, and it's just below my hip. And then press that back down to lock it into position. That's the first one. I would just check that by when you sit on board, drop one leg down, make sure you've got a little bit of a bend on your knee so you don't lock out on the joints as you pedal. Really good positioning for you. Secondly, the handlebars, again, you have a little lever here. You can pull that up, raise or lower the handlebars to a comfortable level for you. If you do have any lower back problems, it's probably a good idea to get the handlebars just slightly higher than the saddle so you're not bent over too much pressure on the lower lumbar spine. Okay. So from there, you also need to get the seat set in the position, what we call the 4.5 position. The ideal position for this is if you bring your arm up, elbow to fingertip, place your elbow on the end of the saddle, and when you drop your hand down, the finger, the longest finger there, should touch the end of the back of the handlebars, as you can see there, all right? There's a reason for that distance. That distance there is exactly the same pretty much from my hip to my armpit. So when I've got that into position, it's set up for the length of my body. So when I'm on the bike, everything is in alignment. I'm not putting too much strain on my knees. I'm not putting too much pressure on my back. If the seat was right the way back, it'd put a lot more strain on my back. If you need to adjust this to get it to the right position, all right, little lever on the back here, loosen that off, and the seat will slide backwards and forwards. And just as I had it then, just going to move it back into position and then tighten that back up. All right? And you're ready to go. One additional feature, 2 water bottle holders, because it can be a tough workout on here if you're pushing yourself. Enjoy. Okay, so what I have next to show you are the medicine balls. Medicine balls generally used as a functional piece of equipment. The idea behind that is that I can hold onto the grips at the side if you have a grip one, or alongside me here I have just a standard medicine ball without the grips. And the idea is that I might do maybe a standing lunge where I press and rotate into the exercise and step back, or you can use it for such things as overhead presses, squats, or even a single grip from hand to hand to get the heart rate up, get yourself moving for a dynamic warm-up. Most importantly, once you finish with the exercise equipment, return it to the stand alongside. And these come in various weights for different weights exercises depending on which muscle groups you're using. Okay, so what I have next to show you are the medicine balls. Medicine balls generally used as a functional piece of equipment. The idea behind that is that I can hold onto the grips at the side if you have a grip one, or alongside me here I have just a standard medicine ball without the grips. And the idea is that I might do maybe a standing lunge where I press and rotate into the exercise and step back, or you can use it for such things as overhead presses, squats, or even a single grip from hand to hand to get the heart rate up, get yourself moving for a dynamic warm-up. Most importantly, once you finish with the exercise equipment, return it to the stand alongside. And these come in various weights for different weights exercises depending on which muscle groups you're using. So one of the excellent additions to this machine, you don't see this on many of the seated multi-gym assemblements, you've got the 2 hand grips on either side. If I sit myself down, make yourself as comfortable as you can on the seat there, take hold of the grips, one in either hand. I can get my hand around to there, bring that into position, bring those tight into the neck, contract your abdominal muscles, keep your head nice and neutral, and then sit yourself down to squeeze into the abdominal muscles and then come back to the upright position. A really effective exercise to work right way through the main stomach muscles here, the abdominal region. Really good exercise. So the other great exercise you can do on it is the seated leg extension. So as I was saying, you adjust the weight according to the exercise that you're going to do. These are big muscles, so they're very, very strong. Sit yourself down, so your legs come behind the pads on here. Make yourself comfortable. You've got 2 hand grips on either side, and from there, it's extension of the leg to work the big quadricep muscles at the front of the thigh. If you keep your toes back towards you, that will get an additional contraction of the muscle, make it a little bit harder. For those of you who have slightly limited range of movement due to tight knees or tight muscles in the thighs, you can adjust this up and down to get the best effect for you so you can work it through a great range of movement. Okay? From there also, you can do seated back rows designed to work the big back muscles. So far we've hit the chest muscles, we've hit the upper body with the lateral pull downs, we've done some additional exercises on the side cable, but from here you have a little lever on the side which brings the seat pad forward. You can adjust this according to the length of your arms, so I'm just setting it midway for me. Select your weight, sit yourself facing the machine, and from here take hold of the hand grips and you can do the seated back row. The wide grip will work more into my major back muscles there. Bring it into the inner grip, work right down the center of the spine there, working the smaller muscles in the middle of the back. So this is the Inspire multi-gym assemblement, okay? Seated exercises mainly on here. So we have a few adjustments you need to make before you get started. Just coming down alongside the machine, you've got the pin locator and weight stack at the very back, so you can adjust the weight according to the exercise you're doing. You come up to the top of the machine, we'll start at the top and work our way through so I can show you the various exercises you can do on here. So up top here, you can just disengage the bar by just pulling that to the side. You have a carabiner or hook on here, so you can attach various different bars and grips to do different exercises. But at the moment, it's set up ready to do a seated lateral pull down. So I've selected my weight, and take hold of the bar, sit myself down, and from here, the seated lateral pull down comes to the front of the body and then fully stretches out. Nice, easy, big back exercise, that one, okay? If you take a nice wide grip, it's gonna work the back a little bit more. As you bring your hands in, you engage more shoulders, and you can also do the reverse grip to hit the arms a little bit harder. So a really good upper body movement exercise. Also from there, okay, you can take off the wide bar from the carabiner. You can attach to it a single hand grip, and you can do various exercises like a high to low rotational axe row to work your torso, so you get the abdominal muscles working in the lower back. You can also do a single hand grip. I won't turn my back on you for this one, but you can bring that up and pull into the body. So you're working the big back muscles and the shoulders and the arms. All of these exercises can be found on the exercise chart that comes along additionally with the M2 piece of equipment. So it's really good to refer to that and you can run through the exercises. You also have on here, if I bring these into position, I'm just going to take these hand grips out of the way, bring this into position. You have the seated chest press exercise. So sitting myself down again, you've got various grips on this. So the wide grip here will be simulating doing a bench press to work the main pectoral muscles, front of shoulders and back of arms. So from here, you can just sit yourself down, keep the body nice and straight, press right way through, back into position. You can adjust it on top for greater range of movement. So by just bringing this back a little bit further, okay, you can get additional range of movement. If you are slightly tighter in the shoulders, you can bring it slightly further forward so you get a shorter range of movement. And as you look at that, you'll see there are various different grips. You've got the wide grips I used to use then, that's for the seated bench press. If I come to the inner grip, the closer grip, that's simulating a dumbbell exercise. But what that will do is work the inner muscles of the chest here, front of shoulder a little bit more, and you get more tricep action, the back of the upper arm. So you're working those muscles there, okay? Additionally from there, if I take it right the way back, I'll tell you what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna pop that out of the way so it's not in our way anymore. I'm gonna take this right the way back, take off the two single hand grips on either side. This is one of the exercises I really like on this machine. It really comes into its own. So from here, by bringing these forward, you now have a cable fly, which will really hit the chest a little bit harder. All right, so you can get a really good additional stretch to the chest, but really work those muscles hard. Or I can rotate in and do a seated cable press. So as you can see there's 4 really good exercises to work the shoulders, chest, and the back of the arms. And then once you finish, you can return that back into position. And from there, just pop those back into their locators on either side. I'm going to come around to the side now, over here, and you have another low pulley still working into the same weight stack. You have a single, or you have a bar, a straight bar there for doing standing bicep curls. From there, I can also do the standard upright row, which is a great exercise for your posture. All right, but you can additionally with that, you have a Velcro ankle strap, which attaches to the cable, and you can do such exercises like the abductor raise for the outer thigh, the adductor for the inner thigh, a straight leg pull back, which will work the glutes and the hamstring muscles, or isolating a little bit more, bring these hamstrings into play and do a hamstring curl. So 4 really good exercises to work hip, thighs and butt and stabilize your knees. Okay, so this is the seated leg press machine. It's a strength-based piece of equipment designed to work the major muscles in the legs, lower lumbar spine, and the abdominal region. So it will get these big muscles at the front of the thigh, the quadricep muscles, the hamstrings and glutes, and the lower back, and as I say, the abdominal area. So there's a few adjustments you need to make before starting. First and foremost, you need to select your weight using the pin selector down here, all right? Adjust the weight to where you feel you want to start. One other adjustment you'll need to make is you need to adjust the seat to the right position for you, the correct position. Ideally, when you're sat on the seat, your lower lumbar spine is supported, your lower back is well supported here, and your feet can comfortably come up onto the foot plate in front of you, as I'll demonstrate. And when you're sat in a comfortable position, your legs are roughly about 90 degrees. Push your lower back into the seated position, hand grips on the side, and then when you're ready, keep the abdominal muscles nice and tight, and just simply press away from you to work these big muscles. Bring it back under control, breathing nice and easy as you do the exercise. Bring it right way back to rest and you can finish there. One other exercise you can do on here, really good exercise for the calf muscles. Bring your feet right way down to the very bottom of the plate. And from that position, you can press out to work the calf muscles and then drop down to work the heel, the Achilles tendon at the base of the heel as you come through. Bring that back to the starting position, and that's one good machine. What we have here is a kettlebell exercise, or a kettlebell should I say. I'm sure you've seen these before. Again, another functional piece of equipment, a molded piece of metal, weighted. They come in various weights, right way through to 48 kilos or more in some gyms if you've got a really heavy duty gym. And the idea of the kettlebell is it can be used for, if you hold it by what we call the horns there into your hand comfortably, you can use it for things like squats, you can use it for an overhead press, and you can also do things like kettlebell swings, a very good exercise, functional exercise to work the hamstring muscles at the back, the glutes, the lower lumbar spine, the abdominal region. Really gets the heart rate up, really good calorie burner. So a really good functional piece of equipment. And again, once you finish, always make sure you return it to the rack so it keeps the gym nice and tidy for everybody else to use. Alongside me, I have a full range of fixed dumbbells, and you'll notice they're all marked up in kilos, so you know exactly what weight you're working with. And in front of me, I have an adjustable bench. So just coming around to the side here, you'll see you've got a little red indicator grip. You can lift that up and adjust it accordingly, so you can incline the bench for upper body, chest exercises, stuff like that. Or you can position that down to the low position. Then I would select my weight. So let's just say I'm going to go for a 5 kilo weight today. And you can use such exercises as a single arm row. So from here, pulling into the body to work the big back muscles, the shoulder and the arm. And additionally, you can use the bench for seated exercises, such as seated dumbbell presses. But again, you may just use the dumbbells in a standing position, so select 2 of the same weight. Do things such as upright rows, standing upright rows. Let's go for a bicep curl. So you've got all the exercises you can work there. Again, always remember to replace the weights back onto the stand located behind me. But also, you might just want to use the bench for things like reverse dips. So in this position, I can drop down to work the back of the upper arm, the tricep exercise there. So I'm working these muscles. Or for the lower limbs, I might come forward into what we call a Bulgarian lunge. So the bench can be used for that as well, very effectively. So this is the dual adjustable pulley workout machine. It has 2 adjustable pulleys on either side. So each of these can be used together. So I can do a dual exercise, like a cable fly, or it can be adjusted independently and using different attachments to do various exercises, such as an upright row or a tricep pull down. Behind us, we've got a full inlay card of all the exercises you can run through. We've got additional attachments, such as ankle straps and single hand grips. And the piece that's on there at the moment is a single hand grip. So as I said earlier, you can use this for cable crossover type exercises or low to high pulley exercises. On either side, you have a weight column and a selector. So if you're using it for independent exercises, you can adjust that. Or if you're having both sides working together in a dual exercise, you can adjust those so they're both the same. One other addition with a dual pulley is you have the overhead bars. So you've got the wide grip for doing a wide grip lateral pull-up, and then you can come in closer. The wide grip will actually work a little bit more back. But if you come into a closer position, as I am here, all right, that will engage a little bit more shoulder. If I reverse my grip, so I'm doing a palms facing grip, still a back exercise, then involving the shoulder, and it will get your biceps working a little bit harder as well. It's very important at the end of your exercise routine to make sure you have a full cool down stretch. This is very important to make sure you loosen off the muscles after you've exercised and you disperse some of what we call the lactic acid, which forms around the muscles, which can cause a little bit of soreness after exercise. It's always handy if you've got a mat alongside as well. So if you do any exercises kneeling on the mat, or possibly if I'm going to lay onto the mat and want to bring my knees in, I'll demonstrate that one for you guys. So if I kneel and sit myself down, hug my knees into my body, give my lower back a little bit of a stretch. You can drop one leg down and squeeze in to hit the hip flexors. But also, if you've got a mat on hand, you can use it for your abdominal exercises at the very, very end of the workout as well. So the next machine I'm going to run you through today is the concept rower. There are a few adjustments you need to make before you start with the concept rower. Firstly, on the right hand side as you face the machine, you'll see there's a resistance control. By closing the fan, the resistance becomes much easier. By opening the fan, slipping a little control upwards, anywhere between number 1 to 10, it will increase the resistance as you row. Secondly, you need to adjust the foot plates to the right size for you. So if you sit yourself onto the rowing machine, the ideal position for these is when your foot is into the toe strap, the strap should come across the bottom of your laces, where the laces start but not where they do up, okay? So to adjust them, all you need to do is lift the little foot plate, slide up or down to the correct position, which I have it on number 4. So when I put my foot into there, strap it up, you'll see I've got a full range of motion at my ankle, so I can use these big muscles as I row effectively. They are numbered for your comfort, so as you go through, you'll do this once. Once you remember the number, you'll know where you are. Pop your feet to toe straps, strap them in nice and tightly. So once you've strapped your feet in nice and tightly and you're comfortable, take hold of the rowing position or the oar from here. You can switch on by pressing the menu key and it will give you a just row program. From here, keep a good straight strong back, ride back with your legs, put it somewhere between the waistband and chest, wherever you feel comfortable, and return to the start position. Drive through the legs first, pulling into the body, good straight strong back, really nice and easy as you roll through. And once you've finished, return the oar to the holder at the front there. So take your feet out of the straps, just push the little strap to the side, and you can lift your foot out comfortably. Okay, so the next machine we come on to is the upright bike, computerized cycle. Before using the bike, you need to get the seat to the right position for you. The ideal position being that once you're sat on the bike comfortably, you've always got a slight bend on your knee when your leg is in a down position. So when the pedal comes right to the bottom, you always need to make sure you've got a slight bend on the knee so you don't hyperextend the knee joint. So to do that, you just place your hand on the saddle. These saddles are hydraulic, so there's a little orange lever under here. Lift the little lever up, seat comes up, and you want to position the saddle so it's about 1 inch or 2.5 centimeters roughly below your hip joint. And on the side here, it's numbered, so that should be about the right position for me. Once you've done this once, you shouldn't have to do it every time you come in. Sit yourself on the bike, drop one leg down, and make sure you've got a little bit of bend on the knee. That's the first thing. That makes it really comfortable for you to start. From this position, also make sure you've got your feet toe straps comfortable, so when I put my foot into the toe strap, I can adjust it. There's a little adjustment on the side there if you need to do that. Make sure your feet are nice and comfortable. It's self-generating, so you need to start pedaling, and as soon as you're ready to go, you've got a quick start program on here. By pressing this, the bike will automatically start. The resistance is controlled by the increase on the right-hand side or decrease button here with inbuilt heart rate monitors. The next machine we come to is our cross trainer or elliptical trainer. The main benefits of this are that it's less impact on your joints, the major joints such as the knee, the lower back, the hips. And also, if you want to, you can use the upper and lower body. So when you come to the machine, just hold on to the grips at the side, step on nice and easily. And you've got 2 hand grips in front. You keep your hands on the grips in front of you and start to the machine, start moving. It will be predominantly 100% lower half workout. The major muscles in the legs are doing the work. You choose to engage your arms by bringing your hands onto the grips here. That will bring in a little bit more upper body work. And then from that position, you can slide the right way down and come back in reverse mode. So when you take it back in the other direction, you'll find this will work your hamstrings and your glutes a little bit more. In the forward mode, it's going to work the big muscles at the front, the quads.
Before you finish, here are a few important safety reminders. Fire exits and fire call points are clearly marked throughout the building. Please take a moment to familiarize yourself with their locations. Refer to the image now on screen. If the fire alarm sounds, evacuate immediately using the nearest exit and proceed to the assembly point, clearly signposted at the front of the building. A first aid kit and defibrillator are available at reception. If assistance is needed, alert a member of staff or call 999 in an emergency. Your safety is our priority. Stay aware and train safe.